You don't want to deal with your childhood traumas, and that is the very reason and the very thing that is stopping you from being the best version of yourself, from being successful, and for you to accomplish all the goals and dreams that you've always dreamed of for yourself. It's your childhood. It's your childhood traumas that you're running from, and that is what is going to keep on stopping you. What's up, everybody? This is Lucy K, Lucy Kigati. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And hopefully today I can help you stop procrastinating, dealing with your childhood traumas, because that could be the very thing and the very reason why you keep on procrastinating or keep on hitting dead ends, or the reasons why a lot of things are not working out for you, a lot of your goals, and you keep on just, it's a revolving door of emotions. It's constantly the same thing over and over again. And it's most likely because you're not dealing with your childhood traumas, you don't want to get help from it, or you simply just don't want to acknowledge it. So hopefully this video can help you change your mindset, can help you find help, get help, or even analyze or acknowledge the simple fact that you're kind of stuck and you kind of don't know where to go, where to be, how to start, and you don't want to maybe acknowledge that your childhood is part of the problem of today. Now, if you see me looking down on my phone, I wrote a couple of notes because these are the very things that I started realizing for myself, and the very things that I started shifting and changing, and knew that if I want to do better, if I want to be greater, and if I want to go the places that I want to go, I have to address a lot of the things in my past, in my childhood, that keep reoccurring. So one way that you will know that you are stuck in the past is your traumas keep you in the past, functioning there and replicating those memories in present time. Childhood will always be your part of you, but you choose how it'll fuel you. This is how you will recognize you haven't dealt with your past. Now, you have to recognize the traumas that happened in your past for you to realize that they are still happening in the present. This could look like the way you communicate and function with your parents, or the way you choose friendships, the way you choose relationships. Oftentimes, we run from our past, and if you recognize the problems that happened in your childhood or in your past, we do our hardest to make sure it doesn't happen in our present. But guess what? When you don't go to therapy, or when you don't deal with childhood traumas, you will replicate them. An effort of trying not to be like your parents, your family members, or people in your past, you will do just that in present times without even realizing. Your present will literally clone and mimic your past, simply because you just don't want to deal with it. You just don't want to deal with it. You don't want to go there. You don't want to feel those feelings. And all that is valid, but all that is not helping you. So one way to start recognizing that you have not dealt with the past is you start repeating and replicating it. You start choosing things that are familiar to you, things that are similar to you. You start choosing people, they might not be healthy for you, but it's normal, it's common, simply because that's what you're used to, simply because that is normal to you. That seems very, very familiar. Familiarity isn't always healthy. Familiarity isn't always what's good for you. It's kind of like when you like sweets, or when you have a salty tooth, or when you like ice cream. Many times, what do? Because that is familiar to you and it feels good when you eat that thing. You will constantly eat that ice cream. You will constantly eat that bag of chips because it fills and feeds something in you and within you, but that doesn't mean it's good for you. The second way you will know that you have not dealt with your past and your past is replicating and procrastinating you is you live to prove others wrong. Do what they said you wouldn't, instead of figuring out what your purpose is minus everyone else's. Now, oftentimes we go to school or we have these goals and personal goals for ourselves, and what we don't realize it is oftentimes these are not your own personal goals. These are not your own personal self-growth achievements. You don't want to go to that school because you want to go to that school. You want to go to that school because someone in your past told you that you couldn't make it there. You don't really want that job. You don't really want that career. You want it and you want to accomplish it because someone else told you couldn't do it, or someone else shoved it in your face and you just want to prove them wrong, or it's simply someone else's dream. Now, this is great and all. You can achieve it. You can try. You can fake it till you make it. But if that was not your destiny, if that was not your purpose, you will be unhappy. You will achieve those goals. You will make that money. You will get into that school. But I promise you, when you get there, you will be extremely unhappy. Why? Because you did not enjoy the journey. That journey was not yours. You were driving a car that was not yours. You were driving to that destination, and that destination was based off of someone else's opinion of you, based off of someone else's opinion, or oftentimes based off of what someone else didn't accomplish and they wanted you to accomplish. And this often happens with parents. Parents, if they wanted to go to Harvard, for example, they push their kids to go to Harvard. So it can somehow accomplish something within them, or they could feel like they did something, but it's probably not your purpose. It's probably not what's going to make you happy. And this is why you see people accomplish so much or make so much money, but they are unhappy, or they just don't want to be there, or they want to give everything up, or they achieve said goal and they're like, I this is not me, this is not my purpose, because it was never your purpose. It was everybody else telling you what to do, you running from your past, you trying to replicate your past, or you trying to prove something to yourself based off of your past, but you never ever dealt with the root of the problem. Because if you did, your accomplishments and your goals would be vastly different and they would be your own. But that sparks confidence, that sparks self-growth, that sparks your own self-reassurance, your own self-soothing based on what you think about yourself, not you caring about what others thought of you or what you wanted to prove wrong from someone who told you couldn't do something. You see what I mean? Because those goals, are they really yours? Do you really want to go to that school? Do you really want to accomplish that thing? Do you really want to be a millionaire because you want to be a millionaire? Probably not. And it's because you have been procrastinating dealing with your past. Third thing that you are procrastinating from dealing with your past, and this is how you'll recognize it, is you keep hitting roadblocks and never figuring out why. This is also another reason. You go to school, but you fail. You try one business, but you fail. You go into this relationship and it fails. And oftentimes it's because you are basing those things off of a broken foundation that you don't want to fix. Many times our traumas and our childhood and our background is painful. But what we don't understand and what oftentimes we don't realize or we don't want to acknowledge or accept is those roadblocks are you yourself preventing it. Because if you want greater, but you don't see yourself as great, or you're carrying around these hurdles and these blocks of traumas and just hurt and devastation, or this person didn't say this, my parents didn't do this, at some point you are going to hit a roadblock, because you can only ignore those feelings and those emotions about yourself for so long. You will be successful or seen as successful for so long, or you will try anything and everything and all these accomplishments, and at some point you will start failing slowly but slowly, because what you have accumulated or this survival mode that you have built for yourself will only run up until a certain point. Think about it. It's like, even if you have a full tank of gas in your car, right? Maybe your car can go 300 miles or 400 miles with that full tank of gas. At some point, if you don't fill up that tank of gas, what will your car do? It will stop. It will be stalled. It will hit a roadblock and it will not move until you put more gas in it. So you are not a well-oiled machine forever. You have to deal with the problems inside of you, inside of your car, inside of your heart, inside of your mind. Because if you don't create these tools and get help, at some point you will hit those roadblocks. At some point your tank will run empty. Fourth thing is you dream more than you do. This is fear. Now, I have dealt with this where I have all these huge dreams, and that's just what they are, dreams. I had this fear of like putting one foot in front of the other because I had fear of rejection, fear of failing, because my dreams were so personal, so close to me, but I was so terrified of failing. I was so terrified of putting them out in the world or telling people about it. And it's because I did not get that self-assurance when I was young, or reassurance, or even to be told that your dreams are valid. Now, that is absolutely, you can't blame your parents, right? Because they also parented you as much as they knew how. So those are the things that you have to work on when your dreams are just that, just dreams. And that is something you just simply talk about, but you never had the guts, you never had the confidence to even go for your dreams. Yeah, you're functioning off of fear, and fear is often rooted off of some kind of trauma or some kind of lack in your life that you have to address. You cannot conquer fear with anything else but your own, not only just your self-will, but you have to have tools where anytime you see fear, anytime fear tries to attack you, because you can be the most confident person in life, but we are human. You will encounter fear at some point, but you have to understand where your fear comes from. So when you encounter fear, or when you encounter places or people or things that make you fearful, you have to have those tools within you that know where that fear is rooted from, if that makes sense. Because fear is rooted from somewhere, and you have to go backwards, and you have to really explore your past, your childhood, for you to really understand, where did this fear come from? And anytime that I encounter it, what can I do? How can I even recognize it, and how can I conquer it to keep on going? Or else you would be stagnant, you will procrastinate, and your dreams would be just that, just mere dreams. Lastly, no matter what you do accomplish, it's never satisfactory. Now this goes back to when you have or accomplish your goals, it's never satisfactory because you didn't enjoy the journey. The journey was never yours. If you don't go and uproot all your traumas, your background, and I'm going to keep on saying it because I want you to recognize the trait here. I want you to recognize the trait in your life, because the more I say it, the more it becomes real, and the more you realize, like, hey, my past traumas are actually like holding me back in the present. No matter what you accomplish, it will never be satisfactory if you didn't deal with what happened to you as a child, what happened to you in that past relationship, what happened to you a couple years ago, yesterday, last month, last week. We will go through so many things, but these things are supposed to be lessons, okay? You have not failed in life. You're not failing in life. Failures are literally lessons in progress. So if you don't go back and read the previous chapters, learn from the previous chapters, get tools on what happened in those chapters, going forward and writing your book going forward, you will continuously recreate the same mistakes, the same failures, the same traits, and you will just never ever be satisfied with your accomplishments, because as you're trailing forward and you did not deal with what was behind, it will always come creep up on you, and it will be to your detriment. So if you are watching this video, if any of these points have hit you, or any you've resonated with any of these points, all I can say, and I am talking from experience, I'm talking from the last few months of really working myself, really therapy, all that, is please do not ignore your past, your traumas, the things that happened to you as a child, no matter what age that you are in. Find it within yourself to work on yourself, especially professionally, because you don't want to go on in this world being unhappy, but you have everything, or wanting all these things and still being unhappy, or trying as hard as you can to accomplish all these things in your life and being better, and you're still unhappy. Okay? If you've tried everything under the sun, if you've tried buying materialistic things or worldly things, the things of this world will never make you eternally happy and externally and internally happy. They won't. They might please you momentarily, you might look good, but internally and eternally, you will not be happy unless you stop procrastinating, recognizing your past traumas, your past relationships, and why you are the way you are in order to successfully go forward. So hopefully this has helped change your mindset, or this has helped have a little bit of a light bulb moment, or encourages you to really seek help, or to really start exploring a different form of self-growth, because at some point we have to be willing to edify ourselves, have some kind of accountability and some kind of self-growth for us to be happy humans, for us to make other humans happy, and for us to understand that yes, I have problems. Yes, I have done X, Y, and Z, but I am working on myself. Okay? Nobody is perfect. You are human. You are not wrong all the time. You are not always the problem. As long as you can hold yourself accountable, you're self-reflecting, and you are giving yourself chances to edify yourself and to become better, that is more than enough. You are a great human being if you are willing to do those things. And your past traumas, what your parents did, what you went through, are not going to be of you, are not going to be of your present, and those are just your past. And you can make a decision today to not continue to be the image of that, or to not continue to drag that into your present life, and you have every power to do so. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I hope that helped you. Let me know in the comments. Bye.